Hey guys, Andrew Miney here, and today I want to talk to you guys about fishing a buzzbait in the summertime. A lot of people think about throwing topwater baits, you know, early in the morning, late in the evening, stuff like that, and then they put them down, you know, once that sun comes up. Well, I've got a little secret for you. You don't have to. The buzzbait, I can catch fish on that thing all day long in the summertime, especially here on my home lake, Lake Austin. But this is a technique that can work all over the place. I've caught fish here on Lake Austin doing it all day long, as well as out at Lake LBJ, Town Lake, Lady Bird Lake here. But I've caught fish from coast to coast doing it. I used to catch fish throwing a buzzbait all day long back in California on the Delta. I even caught fish doing it in Delaware one time on a family vacation when we were over there, and throwing it all day long over there. So, you know, this can work all over the place. Now, the types of lakes that this typically works pretty well at are the lakes where you've got lots of shoreline cover, so lots of laydowns, you know, trees, even docks, rocks, you know, basically just lots of shoreline cover for them to hang out, you know, in pretty shallow water. Reeds, grass, you know, anything like that. Those are the lakes that it typically works pretty well at. The first thing I want to talk to you all about is the equipment that I use. I use Ardent rods and reels. Right here I've got the Ardent Apex Pro. This is a 7.3 to 1 gear ratio, so it's a pretty fast reel. I like that fast reel with a buzzbait because it's very little effort to get it up on top. You know, you want that buzzbait up on top as soon as it hits the water. That's very important, and I'll talk about that in a minute here. But I've got the Ardent reel, as well as this is the Ardent Denny Brauer Signature Series frog and buzzbait rod. I've had this rod for a couple years now, and I've caught so many fish on it, it's ridiculous. Super awesome rod for the buzzbait. For line, I'm throwing 50-pound test P-line Spectrix braided fishing line. But the braid is very important because, you know, a lot of where I'm fishing this buzzbait around is very thick, very heavy cover, and fish can get you wrapped up. And not only that, but you're going to get hung up a lot, you know, around overhanging trees and you know, things like that. And so it can wear, you know, if you're getting hung up all the time with that monofilament and fluorocarbon and stuff, you're going to have to be retying all the time. With 50-pound braid, you usually don't have to retie too often. You know, still want to make sure to check your line, but you know, you're getting hung up and stuff usually isn't a problem. Now, the deal with fishing this buzzbait in the summertime is you're focusing on shallow cover. I mean, really shallow cover. Basically, you're just going to put the trolling motor on high, and you're just going to start covering water. And you're going to find out, you know, the fish will tell you what it is that they're keyed on any particular day. You know, last summer here on Lake Austin, I went through a period of time where they were on shallow laydowns. I went through a period of time where they were on shallow rocks. I went through a period of time when they were on docks. I went through a period of time when they were on reeds. You know, but it would seem like on any particular day, you know, the fish would show me, you know, what they were relating to. And then once I figured that out, once I got a couple bites on one particular piece of cover, I could just focus on that piece of cover and just start covering as much of it as I could. So that's pretty much the deal with this shallow buzzbait thing. I've got some good footage for you to watch. You know, just yesterday came out here on Lake Austin. We had a cold front the night before, and it got down into like the 40s, high 40s, so really cold for this time of the year. And the fishing was really slow for the first half of the day. I came through a couple of areas throwing a buzzbait, didn't even get bit. Just that cold front totally shut those fish down first thing in the morning. And a lot of people probably never would have picked the buzzbait back up the entire day. But all of a sudden at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, things had been warm for quite a while. I picked that buzzbait back up and I started slaying fish on it. From about 2 to 3 o'clock, I probably caught about 20 fish on a buzzbait. Most of them were just 1 and 2 pounders, but I caught enough 3 and 4 pounders to really make it worth it. So I've got some footage for y'all to watch from yesterday, so go ahead and enjoy that, and hopefully this helps you out. Alright, sorry guys for the change of scenery. I forgot to talk about one of the most important things, and that's the retrieve with that buzzbait. One of the most important things is that you get that buzzbait up on the surface as quickly as possible. That's what triggers those fish to bite, is that sputtering action on the surface. So a lot of times, you know, these fish are biting up in very shallow water, and so you're getting that cast, you know, up there in that super shallow water. So you want it up on top as quickly as possible. So most of the time when I'm making my cast and I'm switching hands, but before that bait even hits the water, I'm ready to reel. And so the instant that bait hits the water, I'm reeling, and that bait is already up on the surface. So, you know, there's really, you know, a lot of times when I take people out, you know, they throw it out there, it hits the water, then they start reeling, and they've got a good, you know, 5 to 10, sometimes 15 feet before that buzzbait pops up to the surface. And, you know, that's 10 or 15 feet where you've already gone out of the strike zone. So many of my fish, you know, that I catch on that buzzbait are that first foot or two as I've started my retrieve with that buzzbait. So be very conscious of getting that buzzbait up on top quickly. Also, you know, make sure you're getting it to deflect into cover, just like with fishing a crankbait or any other type of reaction bait. If there's a stump or reeds or grass or whatever, get it to knock into it. You know, maybe a little directional changes. You can change the direction of the buzzbait with your rod tip here and there. But for the most part, all you want to do is cast it out there, get it up on the surface as quickly as possible, and keep it on the surface. Reel just as fast as you need to keep it up on the surface. That's usually what they want. Sometimes they want you burning it a little quicker than that, and you know, really coming across the surface real quick. But most of the time, I'm reeling just as fast as I need to keep it on the surface, and that's typically the key with that retrieve. So this buzzbait pattern is really just starting to get going here on Lake Austin. If it's anything like last summer, it should last all summer long. You know, there might be a week or two here and there where it slows down for a while and they won't eat it. That happened last summer too, but you know, after a week or two, all of a sudden they'd start eating it again. So it's just getting started. If y'all want to book a guide trip with me to come on out and see some of the specific areas that I target, learn more about some of the buzzbait modifications that I make to really maximize my success out here. You know, there's definitely little subtleties to this, you know, that a lot of guys miss out on. You know, last summer after I made a couple of awesome videos catching a lot of fish on a buzzbait, I saw lots of boats out there on Lake Austin throwing buzzbaits and fishing the same waters that I was catching fish on in the videos. You know, they'd go down a bank and maybe catch one, or I'd see them catch one or two, and then I'd come right in behind them and I'd catch 4 or 5 or 6, you know. And there's definitely you know, some subtleties and everything that guys miss out on. So definitely give me a call if you want to come out here and have some fun with the buzzbait and learn some things with it. And it'll help you out throughout the rest of the summer, you know. And the fish that are eating this thing right now should, you know, just get bigger throughout the summer. That seems like what happened last summer. You know, I was catching 6, 7, 8 pounders on it. So anyways, hopefully this helps. Good luck to y'all. And remember, especially out here on Lake Austin, you're only one cast away from totally making your day. Good luck. One last thing, guys. So I really wanted to be totally awesome with this video and be one of those crazy nerdy YouTube people that was able to get the little video clips up in the corners of the screen that you could click on and see some of my other YouTube videos from last summer throwing a buzzbait. But turns out you got to pay some extra money to get some of that fancy video editing software, and I'll probably do that someday, but today's not that day. So what you should see though is you'll see a little like circle with an eye or something in it. You'll see something that pops up somewhere on the screen here that says suggested video. Click on that and you'll see a couple little videos that you can click on. There you can see the videos from last summer when I was catching a bunch of fish on a buzzbait. So check those out.